Are we recording?
Hello and welcome to the Invincible podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the universe. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan, and joining me today is TJ.
Hello.
And Bill.
You always introduce Bill first, so I was...
You were caught off guard. Hello.
Hi, Bill.
Hi.
If you didn't know, this is a podcast where some friends get together and talk all things Invincible, a comic book written by Robert Kirkman. We usually go over new issues or talk about past issues with some readers who have never read Invincible before, or some tie-in comics that tie into the Invincible universe and such. But today we're just going to be going over some stuff, some updates with the release schedule, and just some general chat. When is the next issue, TJ? Is it
November 16th.
November 16th. So what did he say? We said
it was beginning of October, then it was the end of October, then it was beginning of November 2nd, I think, and then it was November 16th.
So when was the last issue that came out?
It was like... I'll
August?
say, first of all, I have not been here since Ottley's interview.
That's
so it's
right.
been a long time for me.
Well,
Neither has
so
Bill.
we're-
Oh, no,
No,
Bill
you
and I
guys did Brett.
Well,
Yeah.
that's... Are you guys going to jinx? Are you even going to
No,
try
I'm
to
just gonna
jinx?
let it,
Because that
I'm
was...
gonna let it hang there.
No, Bill, we're grown. We're grown. We're too
In
adult for that
podcast world, it
bullshit.
doesn't seem like it's that long, but for us, like, it's...
Well, because me and you recorded the Brit episode shortly after the Ryan Ottley episode, and then I recorded the new reader with the girls for Volume 5 shortly after that episode. So I haven't recorded at all in over a month.
The point being, I don't think we've done a new issue episode since the Ottley interview.
August.
Which means that it's been a fucking long time since we've had a new issue of Invincible.
Yep. So, which is fine. It's one of those things where we don't know the reason. We don't know what.
Who knows the reason why it's taken so long? My question, I mean, you can't rush art, right? No one knows. Kirkman has probably got his hands in so many other things. It could be it could be the script.
And
that's
what's the
taking a long time.
Miyamoto quote that's like, you've heard
It's
it a
not
lot,
the script.
TJ. It's the
because
fact that...
we know that Ottley was on like 38 when we, what was it, 138 when we were interviewing him.
August was the last one.
So it can't be the script.
Well,
Because
either way,
Ottley's got the script from, up until probably...
Okay, well,
the end.
we know for a fact, Ryan, hello, that maybe you still listen or are listening. So, I mean, if you have any insight, or if anyone has any insight as to what postpones comics like this.
This is something we actually wanted to bring up in the interview with Ottley is, the fact that everybody always blames the artist. They always think it's the artist. So, what else do you think that it could be?
Could it be publishing? Like, could it be...
Colorist?
Could it be,
Inker?
like, manufacturing? Could it be the factory got lit on fire? And fucking something crazy.
It's just...
Who knows?
Yeah.
Like,
And
we don't know.
It's odd, because like in the video game industry or movie industry, there's...
You know what the problem is.
You usually know, and they usually announce the delays or things like that. This is just kind of like, oh, if you happen to check the release schedule, it's just not there anymore, and it's just pushed.
Yeah.
Which, again, like you said, you can't rush art, and it's just one of those things where,
Right.
if it's rushed and it looks bad, it's bad forever, but if it's good and it takes a little bit longer, then it's worth the wait.
Then we have a little bit longer, a little bit more of Invincible in our lives.
I mean, at this point, Invincible isn't going to end even in 2017.
I'm still mad about
Which
it.
is-
I'm still steamed
about
fucking Invincible.
ending?
Like, dude, no, like the fact that it's delayed so much.
It
You know
stinks.
what I mean?
I think that it impacts us more because we do this podcast than the average person. But it is
We
weird.
talk
Like somebody
about
said the other
Invincible
day,
a lot
like
because we do this podcast.
yeah, and somebody said the other day, I think there was 4 issues released in 2016 or something.
That's fucking maddening, but I
like
believe
4 or
it.
5.
It was our good buddy Mike Barrett who said that.
Did you say that? Yeah.
Yeah, when we got to have a little dinner date with him.
Sorry,
when he was
I
in
wasn't there.
town, but Bill said, "Fuck Mike
taking care of
Barrett." Mike Barrett.
No,
Your
actually, my
daughter's gaping
daughter,
wound.
my daughter slammed her forehead, my beautiful 1.5-year-old daughter, off of our outside gate, and now has literally a Harry Potter scar on her forehead. Not kidding. It's like
we know who she's gonna be for Halloween.
Yeah, not Harry Potter. Someone much cooler and hipper.
But other than the delays and whatnot, other news pertaining to Invincible and Skybound and such, the only other things that I found were the Skybound North opening up in, I believe it's Vancouver. So Skybound opened up another studio.
This is not little news, by the way. This is potentially a big...
It's not Invincible. Technically, it's not Invincible related.
I agree with you.
It could be Saga. It could be any number of different kind of image.
But it was just cool.
The fact that Robert Kirkman is directly involved makes me think it's a Robert Kirkman.
Do you have a quote?
Yes, it's Robert Kirkman and 2 other people.
Do you have a quote?
So,
Ryan?
well, not only did they open the studio, but then shortly after that, they announced that Thunderbird Entertainment is going to be partnering with them. And here's the first paragraph of that news report. It was on October 19th. Thunderbird Entertainment is proud to announce a new partnership with Skybound North, a division of Skybound Entertainment. The agreement between the companies gives Thunderbird an exclusive first look at all animated and non-animated properties being developed for television by Skybound North in Canada. So we knew that Skybound North was going to be a television or movie or something studio. Wasn't the head of Skybound North was a former head or something of Lucasfilm Animation or something.
So what did he do? Do we know? Did he do like the Clone Wars or something like that?
I don't know. I didn't look that into what they have done at Lucasfilm Animation, but it's still cool. I mean, that's just another piece of the puzzle that could eventually lead to something, or it could lead to nothing. I mean, either way, it's something. We're going to get something animated or something on TV, but it might not be Invincible.
Going back to episode 2 of the podcast, though, when you and I did the whole movie, TV show, that kind of thing, we had pretty much read verbatim the deal that they had with, was it Paramount?
Yeah, that's over though.
And that was a first look deal.
Yes.
And this sounds like exactly what that is.
Exactly.
Nothing happened with that, and that was like fucking 4 years ago or something.
Exactly,
like that.
But it could be one of those things where it's just companies that have to make things public, so maybe nothing will come of this. But there was actually a studio made for it, so I mean, this has a little bit more.
And a guy hired
from an animation department
to run,
and now another animation team coming on to partner with him. So. I don't know. We'll see.
But it could be anything. It's Skybound. It's not just. It's like you were saying, TJ. It's not. It might not be Invincible. It could be.
Kirkman is involved. That's what makes me think it's got to be something. I mean.
But there's also the fact that unless they were working on stuff back at their other studio, this just happened. These things take years sometimes. So this could be a long thing in the works. And if it would take years. Why would it be Invincible? Invincible's ending next year. So,
and specifically, this said animation, right? Like
it said animation and non-animated and non-animated.
Okay,
but they said animated first, which is interesting. But so that was one thing. Another thing pertaining to Invincible. Get your hand out of the candy jar. Come on, I can hear that
really well.
Oh yeah, I can hear it.
Oh
yeah. Another thing that was announced that I don't think we talked about was Invincible is going to be making an appearance in Shudder. Now, Shudder is another Image comic. It's going to be Shudder 25, released on December 28th. And it is, I'm just going to read this. This is a special 25th anniversary brunch-related crossover event. A story 25 issues in the making. And then it talks about how the main character faces the end of the universe. An explanation for all existence that threatens to wipe out everything that ever was, and only Kate can stop it. Plus, there's a brunch 25 years in the making, kick off 2017's Image Comics 25th anniversary. So 2017 is Image Comics 25th anniversary, which is kind of cool. Including, but not limited to, Savage Dragon, Witchblade Glory, and Shadowhawk unite with Invincible and the cast of Shudder for what may prove to be the most delicious crossover event of all time. So that's kind of cool. No, I actually read the first trade paperback of Shudder, and it was interesting. It was kind of cool.
What's it about?
TJ.
Oliver was meowing.
What is it?
My cat Oliver.
It's
my other cat.
It's a Oliver.
Grayson. Oliver and Grayson.
We've talked about that
Invincible
before.
Fan, right here for your pleasure.
Shudder is about a girl. It's kind of like an Indiana Jones kind of story mixed with like a world in which it's kind of like picture Zootopia. There's like animals that talk and walk around, and it's just normal. It's just a world where like her like partner is one of those cat clocks, the black cat clocks, and it's animated. It's like alive. So it's just a really bizarre. It looks like it's like you're on drugs. It's a really weird, tripped out kind of story. Really interesting though. I dug it. So we have a email here from Kevin. He wrote in and said, "Hello, Invincible Podcast. I recently discovered your podcast 2 days ago, and I was overjoyed to find other Invincible comic fans. I can talk to my friends about Marvel and DC, but never Invincible. They never heard of it. Crazy, huh? Still, I'm a fan of it all. I, like many readers, was initially super sad to hear the news that Invincible was coming to an end. The comic had always been my awesome breather from Marvel and DC's status quo. The writing and art is always spectacular, and you never know what's coming next. I hope you guys continue the podcast even after the comic ends. It would be so glad to hear you guys talk about other Kirkman and Skybound books like Brit, Tech Jacket, Guardians of the Globe, Invincible Universe, Capes, Science Dog, Super Dinosaur, and Wolfman.
Nice.
I remember loving Wolfman, but had to stop due to budget reasons. Anyway, here's my question. If you could bring back any character from the dead for the remaining issues, who would you pick? My pick would be Shapesmith. Love everything about that character. Keep up the great work." And that was Kevin. Thanks, Kevin, for the email.
Mine, I've been very vocal about, which is obviously Rex.
Rex? You would say Rex over Engstrom?
Well, here's the thing. Yes, I would say Rex over Engstrom, but Engstrom coming back makes more sense to me. And we did kind of get, like, Rex did kind of come back for a reboot a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think it would be cool if Engstrom came back. I'd take either one of them.
Ryan?
I don't know. That is tough. I feel like Conquest is an easy answer, but I feel like I'm satisfied with how Conquest ended. And that
was brutal. Do you remember how that ended?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was nuts.
I don't know. For the end, I don't know. I feel like it still hasn't sunk in that Cecil is dead. And I feel like with what's coming up with everything that's going on with Robot and the state of the world with all the fighting and everything like that, I'd be curious to see what Cecil thinks, and especially to know what Cecil thinks of what Robot's doing, because Robot is kind of doing that thing that Cecil had always done, where it's, do kind of a small bad thing to do to make a big difference, to change things for the better, even though you might be doing something kind of borderline. I don't know, so maybe Cecil. Shapesmith is a good answer because I loved Shapesmith, and it sucked that he didn't even get a funeral or nothing. He got no recognition after he died, whereas a lot of the other heroes did.
I forgot about how cool and how funny he was. Like after listening to the new reader episodes with you, Liz and Britt, and then kind of reading it over Liz's shoulder, I was like, oh yeah, he was a really funny customer. Like when he got the costume,
yep.
Like that whole thing. I think my answer is pretty obvious.
Yep, Battle Beast.
It's.
I don't know. Is it Battle Beast or Dinosaurs?
It's either one of those things. It's either one of them two.
So think of like the state of what's happening in the comic. Who would make a bigger impact on the story?
Well, I think that something with Battle Beast's race is going to come up anyways.
I think I want that to happen. That's the one thing
they
that
said.
I
the
really
one leader said there is another. You know
yes,
what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
but that was before the announcement. That was before a reboot.
So you think that's just going to be a loose thread that
this
just,
is something I think
just blows away and goes nowhere?
No, I don't. But I'm saying I hope that's not the case. I don't think that's the case. And I mean,
it could always be something like, and I don't know if I would like this or not, but it could always be something like there's a crazy battle going on, and then someone that looks similar to Battle Beast, maybe like a female
just
Battle Beast, just shows up and starts kicking ass.
I wouldn't want that.
And then they just disappear.
They
need,
like
maybe a son, maybe
line.
like a son or a, I don't know, or dinosaurs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Battle Beast is just so fresh though that, you know what I mean. I feel like, but because so many people have died, and who else has died? So Rex, Cecil,
a lot of people have died.
Conquest,
all the villains pretty much.
Angstrom, yeah.
Angstrom.
Russ Livingston, the Sequids.
Oh yeah.
So
the technicians, they're all gone. So I don't know. I just want to see more Battle Beast.
Yeah,
that would be my answer.
TJ, did you have a message?
Yeah, I had someone messaged us on Facebook.
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
did.
And remember, we're on Facebook. You can message us there. You can find us there. You can find us on Twitter. And if you want to email us like Kevin did, our email address is theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. So Mark says, "Hey, Invincible Podcast. I've recently discovered your podcast and have been trying to catch up on all of them. First, I would like to say it has been so great to hear from others how they felt about the recent news. I'm assuming is in regards to the end of Invincible. A few of my friends are into comics but have not fallen for Invincible the way that I had, and it seems you guys did. Read predictions for issue 131. I felt that the intro to Thrag's two favorites seemed to telegraph what is likely to happen when they meet Mark. They are going to fight Mark, get the upper hand, and then Anand is going to do or try to do something sadistic to Mark, such as injure or kill Eve or Tara. Ursel would then stop him and either intentionally or non-intentionally allow Mark to escape/win the fight. What do you guys think of that idea? Great interview with Ryan Ottley. By the way, keep up the good work. Love Mark." Love Mark.
Yes.
I am HO, the best name for a superhero because his name is Mark. P.S. Ryan was right. Don't give up on weeklies yet. I am subscribed to Greg Rucka's Lazarus. I fucking love that.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
Where else have we heard that from? Lazarus.
Another emailer, I don't remember their name, wrote in to one of our last talks, and in the email said, "Hey, check out Lazarus." And I read the first graphic novel of that too. What?
Do we want to respond to this gentleman's
Yes, let's get to that first.
email first, and then we'll talk about maybe Lazarus?
Yeah, thanks for the email, and I absolutely 100% agree, as I'm sure you've heard if you were catching up and you got to our latest issue discussion. I completely agree. I think that Anand is going to show up with Ursel, and Anand's going to freak out and try and do something crazy like we've already seen with him ripping out those aliens in half. And Mark is going to snap. I think Anand and Ursel are going to completely underestimate Mark and Eve's power, and especially threatening their daughter. Mark's going to put a stop to him. Ursel might panic, and maybe, like I said, maybe Mark shuts down Anand, whether he kills him or not. But Ursel's going to be like, "Oh, whoa, take a step back," and maybe she's the one that goes to give Thrag the news. But either way, that's going to put Mark in the fight.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot too with the whole Anand Ursel dynamic with what he's going to do and then what potentially she's going to do. I think that's kind of a cool idea though, with her maybe intentionally letting Mark go. Maybe she sees the honor in what he does and like how he's maybe a more powerful Viltrumite.
I predict it being more of a like, "Oh shit, he just fucked up my brother. Yeah, I'm out of here," and just kind of like backing off, and Mark not chasing her down
because she's smart, right?
Yeah.
She's not gonna pick a fight.
I think that her loyalty to Thrag, no matter what Anand does, I don't think that she's gonna let Mark get away. She's gonna do what needs to get done because she wants the approval of Thrag. But I think that everything else that Mark, who messaged us, said is going to be exactly as he said it. It's going to be, Anand goes too far, and she tries to stop him, and Mark, somehow gets away, or she gets away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, he brought up other comics. And so that's kind of a section we wanted to dive into a little bit. We've been trying to read other stuff, and I wanted to talk more about other comics because that seems to be a common theme on our show here, where people write in and say one of two things. Either try this and try this and try this, or they'll say, "I'm done reading after Invincible's done."
Right.
So that's like, there you go. We have people saying, "Hey, don't be done, read this." So we're going to try and help out everybody and, give some suggestions and talk a little bit about what we've been reading.
Yeah, because I'm in a position where, like, once Invincible's done, I don't have the time and energy to go into Batman, or because didn't it just get fucking rebooted again?
Yeah, here's
like,
the thing with Invincible too, and just comics in general, is I actually brought up a list. I don't have it with me, but I brought up a list of like all the top selling comic books, and Invincible is way down there, and that could be one reason why they decided to to cut it.
Oh yeah, I've looked online before, and I've talked to people on Reddit, and I mean the sales aren't crazy. I mean they're not bad, but they're just
surprising
not.
with it being
like
Kirkman.
Flintstone sells way more than Invincible.
Flintstones?
Yeah. But Flintstones is a household name. Everybody knows
That's the
Flintstones.
thing,
But still, it's
even
Flintstones.
and
You know
even,
what I mean? Like,
even Ottley talked about it when he jumped into Invincible. He was talking about how, like, he didn't want to read a indie superhero book. Nobody likes that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, people don't give him the shot. And like we've seen with like, I think it was Kevin that wrote this email and said like, you know, so his friends don't read it, and he is passionate about it. It's like people have to give it a shot, and that's what we're finding with the new readers. I mean, you have to like give it a shot, and you'll learn to love it because it's not just another comic.
but the one thing that I learned from that list is that I understand why they keep rebooting. Because issue number 1 sell like crazy. Number 1 on the list was Harley Quinn number 1. Number 2 was Batman number 1. Number 3 was, you know, Detective Comics Rebirth number 1. Or like
but
whatever,
Harley
it was,
Quinn,
you
like
know?
Suicide Squad. Everyone's gonna be fucking all over Harley Quinn.
Well, that too.
shit.
But
Yeah,
is it
it's
also
issue number 1. So people see it as a
Flintstones sold more than
way
Invincible.
more. Yeah.
That's mind-boggling.
Mind bottling?
Yeah.
Like it puts your mind in a bottle?
Yeah, kind of like when your mind gets all trapped, like it's in a bottle.
I don't think that's a thing.
That's a quote from an underrated movie, Blades of Glory.
Oh, okay.
It's Blades of
I've
Glory with
seen
Will
it.
Ferrell
Yeah, it
and
was
I
alright.
didn't-
John
I didn't see it.
Hader. Norman or Napoleon Dynamite guy.
yeah.
Okay.
John Heater.
Yes.
Anyways, like we were talking about other comics, TJ, do you want to bring up something? I thought that's what you were about to do.
Well, I mean, the one comic that we asked Ottley, you know, what should we be reading? The first thing he said was Saga.
Oh
And
yeah,
you and I started reading that, and I'm pretty far into that. And
I didn't tell you. I have book 1. It should be here
Did you finish
in
it?
a couple days. Oh no.
Okay.
I ordered it. I had read the first trade and was like, okay, I'm getting the hardcovers. So
Yeah.
I ordered the first hardcover, and it should be here any
It's
day now.
so good so far.
It's
the
awesome.
story is amazing.
Give us a synopsis because I'm assuming this. So this is the one that's like because I order all my comics online, and that picture right there is like the Image comic.
Yeah, the cover of issue
Yeah.
1.
of Image, the Image app. That's the
Yeah,
first
it's
thing
the
that
Image
pops up
app.
when
It's
you-
the first
when
thing
you
that
click
pops
on
up
it.
is that, and I didn't know what it was. It was just some demon thing with her tit out, and she was feeding the baby.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
it's
issue. That's the picture of hardcover number 1.
so it's I don't want to say too much about it. It's
Basically,
very,
there are two races that are kind of against each other. They're
Mm-hmm.
from the guy with the horns is from one moon, and then the woman
it's
with the
Romeo
wings
and Juliet,
is from another one.
Game of Thrones, and Star Wars.
Yeah, basically they're not supposed to be together because they're from different.
And I don't want to say this,
they're
but
against
I
each
love,
Opposing.
Yeah.
and they have a child together, obviously.
and I don't want to say this,
And it's about them,
but I
like,
love
on the run.
the perspective of it and the way,
Perspective.
yeah, the way the actual story is told is amazing. It's really good. So I'll
Is it from the perspective of the baby?
yes, and that's in issue 1, so that's not too big of a deal. But that's an awesome.
Do
But
you want to know why I guessed that? Because I'm reading Spread.
what a spread!
Spread is another. It's kind of like The Thing.
Yeah.
It's an apocalyptic like story that is very much like The Thing, where this thing just can mutate like deer
like a
into
symbiote.
something. Yeah, it's like a
Really?
symbiote, and it's like one big gigantic spread.
I have 3 issue ones of that, and I never.
And
Never
yeah, I
picked it
still
up.
read it. It's very good.
Yeah.
But it's in the perspective of Hope, the baby. So she's like, oh yeah,
Huh.
this happened and this happened. So
Cool.
and I thought that was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
So by you saying, oh, it's like a really different way of telling this perspective, I'm like, it's a fucking baby, isn't it? Because that's what Spread does.
Cool.
It's very good.
But yeah, we also talked about Lazarus a little bit. We've had 2 people now write in, so I'm gonna have to read more. I read the first trade, and I thought it was good.
Does that have anything to do with the movie Lazarus that came out with that girl?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Was that the movie Lazarus? The girl from Tron. The
Olivia
program.
Wilde.
Yes, she was in a movie called Lazarus where
Really?
she stuck a thing in her head and she came back from the dead, but she was like the devil or something like that.
What? No, I don't know.
Yeah.
It.
No?
Sounds not very good.
It's probably not very good, but that looks like it could be.
Yeah, the cover of
Yeah.
issue 1 does kind of look like
So,
it.
have you guys heard of something called Tokyo
Yes.
something?
Yeah.
What is it?
Tokyo. I definitely have.
So, Ryan, give us a lowdown on Lazarus. How is that? What's that about? You read the first trade?
Yes, and it was a couple months ago. I'm trying to remember here. It was very I hate to say, but like kind of Hunger Games in a way. It kind of reminded me of where there's different sections and class divisions and everything like that, but way more adult than Hunger Games. But there's a lot to it, and I'm not doing it justice. But it has to do with warring families and how basically she can get the main character gets shot up and dies and can come back. And I think there's more than one person per each family that can have that ability. And it's very just warring families in the future where there's a lot of class structure and you're either a like peasant or extremely rich, and interesting. And it's still doing really well, and I keep seeing new issues out frequently, so it's still going. Intriguing though. I'm interested.
It sounds like you're super into Saga though. Like if there's one thing that
Saga is awesome.
Yeah, if there's one thing right now. Like I said, I did try out some Shudder. That was interesting. It was kind of cool because I wanted to get a feel for it before that issue 25 one with Invincible in it. I have Sex Criminals downloaded, but I haven't read it yet, and I've heard good things about that. Bill, do you know what Sex Criminals is?
No.
I feel like you'd be into that.
Well, I mean...
It's the premise of Sex Criminals is there's the main character, and this is just me going off by what I remember. The main character can stop time and do anything or whatever.
Including commit sex crimes.
No. The only time she could stop time is mid-orgasm.
Huh.
And so say she's going to rob a bank during this time in which time stopped, and she runs into another guy who's also able to stop time.
Via orgasm.
Yes. And it might be about their hijinks. I'm not sure. I haven't read it. But both that and Deadly Class were Greg Miller recommendations. So I've heard about them through him. And Deadly Class was kind of cool. It was it was kind of like Wanted. There's a kid who's, I only read the first issue, but there's a kid who's kind of homeless, living on the streets, and he gets brought into a school full of hitmen children. So this is like where you're trained to be hitmen.
What is this called?
Deadly Class. And I thought that was
Kingsman
really cool.
too.
Yes, very Kingsman or Wanted.
Fish,
that whole thing. Yep.
TJ, you were reading Trees, weren't you?
No.
Jason Howard.
Who read Trees? I thought you read Trees.
Nope.
I have the first few issues of
So
Trees.
do I.
Maybe
I haven't read it either.
No?
Maybe I told you I bought it, but I never actually.
You guys should catch
it
up on Trees before talking about Wolfman, which that episode's going to be out
That's
soon.
going to be coming. Me and Bill are going to be going over Wolfman.
That's going to be fun. I'm excited to recap on Wolfman. It's been a while since I read that.
I'm going to read it again, yeah.
The one comic that I read that I completely fell in love with, even more than Saga, that I'm obsessing over right now, is called Descender. And it's about basically there's like a galaxy, just like kind of like ours. It has a whole bunch of different planets.
Here or is it?
No, it's
far. Is it
it's
far,
a gallery.
far away?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So there's a whole bunch of different planets. Gigantic. So they have androids on these planets and everything, and like they're a normal thing. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, gigantic planets like Galactus-sized robots, Galactus-sized like robots show up on these planets and attack the planet, and they don't know where the robots came from. They ended up surviving it, but just in case, they outlawed all androids and they started killing off androids.
It's very Animatrix.
Yeah, and so 10 years goes by, and a little boy android named Tim, 21, wakes up, and it follows his story, and it's about him surviving, and he has emotions, he can feel pain, and it's just him, but there's so much depth to the story. There's a lot of characters. There are people that are trying to protect him. It's only 15 issues in right now, but it's amazing. It's very emotional. It's got a lot of action in it too. Maybe not as much as like Invincible, but it does have action in it.
What is it called again?
It's called Descender. It's awesome. It's very, 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 very good book. It's like my new obsession right now.
It sounds like a I don't want to say cliche kind of story where it's like, technology takes over, technology is outlawed, and then here's this piece of technology that you like. You know what I mean? Or that's like the main character or something along those lines.
what makes the comic is the fact that it's the main character is basically a little boy. Like, you forget that he's a robot. And that's what kind of makes it so emotional.
Yeah. This other one that I wanted to read, it's Tokyo Ghost. And it's the Isles of Los Angeles 2089. Humanity is addicted to technology, a population of unemployed leisure seekers, blissfully distracted from toxic contamination, who borrow, steal, and kill to buy their next digital fix. So, I mean, I've heard really good things. It's 12 books in to it. I think they've got volumes out now, like up to volume 2. So would be like, what, 12 issues? Or 12, 14 issues? So it launched like a year ago. But the art looks really cool. I have no idea what it's about other than that, but it's just one of those things where, like, you know, the cover of it when it launched looked super interesting to me.
Cool.
So that might be something that...
TJ, I saw while you were scrolling. Did you read Paper Girls?
No, I have the first trade, but I haven't started it yet.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a lot of really, really good things about it.
That's also Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's an awesome one, too.
Looking forward to reading that.
Wait, Brian K. Vaughan...
Did Saga.
Really?
And Why the Last Man. Yeah,
really?
Which we read, yeah.
That's... Oh, well, now I'm definitely going to read Saga, because I fucking love Why the Last Man.
And what was the one-shot thing that he did? Reborn?
Yeah, Reborn with...
I read that.
No, that was Mark Miller.
And Brian K. Vaughan.
Was it? Mark Miller and Greg Capullo.
No, you're right. It's Mark Miller. I'm wrong. It is not Brian K. Vaughan. You're right. It is Mark Miller and Greg Capullo.
You have the Violent? You have that?
No. This is just on the Image app. Yeah.
I met the artist and the writer of that, and that's another awesome. Well, I mean,
yeah.
While we're talk about that. The Violent is an awesome book too, and it's very like I mean, it's not like everything we talk about here is all very kind of like sci-fi-ish. Mm-hmm. This isn't at all. It's about, takes place in the Bronx and about a guy who's like trying to get his life together, and it's very like not mobster movie, but kind of, you know what I mean? It has that kind of, yeah,
noir-ish.
It has that kind of feel.
Yeah.
Very, very good book, and the artist or the writer is a very good guy, and the artist is awesome. Really, really cool guy. He did one of my sketch cards. He did Robin. He did Damian Wayne's Robin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. So I think we just went through a lot of options for people to check out, and we'll be sure to talk more about other comics and everything like that, because it seems like people want to hear that, whether it's because you want to find something new or you want to share something that you're currently reading. So yeah, keep writing in with other stuff, and we'll absolutely talk about more.
Yeah. The idea is to find something that is as
compelling, addicting.
but and also like just you don't have to read anything else. You know what I mean? As Invincible.
Right. Yeah, and that's pretty much everything we just named. I don't think anything that we just named was...
Stuff from Image. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because there's nothing really from Marvel or DC that's not... It's just a one-shot that's not part of, like, the bigger fucking universe.
I wish I can read Marvel stuff.
Here's the thing, though. The thing is, like, I understand that because Batman is so big, especially Image people, don't really tend to go that direction. But Batman is so good, man. Like I mean, it's because I'm a fan, but like it's so good.
Yeah,
So riddle me this then.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of, I have American Alien coming in the mail too. I'm really excited to finish reading that because I only read the first issue.
Yeah, one other thing is you brought up Green Valley.
Green Valley was awesome.
Max Landis, and one other thing that I was hoping you would bring up Green Valley so that could lead me into something that I'm watching on TV right now.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. Bill, go ahead and finish.
I was just gonna say, since we're on the topic of like other comic books that are very good, TJ, are you caught up on The Walking Dead?
Oh my gosh!
No, I have them all, but I'm.
This has been the exact same thing you said for the last 3 years.
I was planning.
It literally has been 3 years.
Listen, no, it hasn't. I was planning. I even told you this over the summer. I said September 1st. I'm going to have about a month to catch up before the new season. Not that I'm caught up way past the new season, but I wanted to be completely
almost
caught up.
Though.
Then
September
3rd, we had an interview with Ottley, and he said try more Image shit.
Yeah.
Now I know I like Walking Dead, so Walking Dead is Image, but I know that I like Walking Dead. I wanted to expand my horizons, so that's kind of where I fell off on reading that, but.
So you're just gonna
be doing that.
So what you're saying is you're just gonna do whatever Ryan Ottley tells you to do.
Yeah, probably.
Walking Dead has been pretty good.
Walking Dead is, quote,
the most recent issue was probably the best issue since, like, before Negan.
Definitely.
It's the best issue since Negan.
Since before Negan.
What do you guys think of the season premiere?
I didn't watch it. I don't watch it. I don't watch the show.
You don't watch it? Okay,
No.
so we'll get into that when we get into some TV stuff. What, yeah, but this, I sent you a page.
Well, we can't do anything with spoilers
it,
because TJ hasn't fucking watched it.
But the new issue, of Walking Dead.
You haven't watched Walking Dead.
The new
you don't
issue,
have to spoil anything.
Yeah, the new issue
talk about it.
Was very good. I'm excited for what Walking Dead is currently doing in the comics because I feel like it's been a little muddled lately and it's been a little hard to kind of distinguish what's been going on. Mm-hmm. But right now it seems like there's some,
Kirkman wrote himself into a bit of a corner, though, by creating 3 different communities with all these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's so hard to, like, get connected to these. But I mean, finally, dude...
Yeah.
You don't even. He doesn't even know, and I'm
it's interesting though.
He doesn't even know.
It's interesting to know though that I'm 30 issues behind, and there are still 3 communities.
Well, I kind of winced at when he said that because there really.
I don't think that I'm not upset about knowing that. It's not like a spoiler
not
or anything,
like that,
but that's interesting.
It's more than just 3 communities now. It's a little bit different than that, but whatever.
But it stands. There's many people.
There's a lot of people in the comics,
and it's not like the small knit group where you cared about every single person and then this person could die this week. Like, it's not like that anymore.
It is kind of amazing to think about how we knew every single person's name and there was like 5 of them.
Dude, I can't even fucking tell you characters now that I'm supposed to know.
I thought like that.
And someone will die and you'll be like,
and I'm like, who the fuck was that? People are crying. There's a funeral. The whole issue's about this, and I'm like, I feel bad that I don't even know who this person is.
I know.
Right now. But that being said, the story that's going on, it's very good. I'm excited about Walking Dead for the first time since the Governor, since like Woodbury.
Good.
And Negan never really made me feel like that excited.
He made me feel. Yeah, he did. He did.
But maybe I'm just forgetting because there was so much boring Alexandria bullshit. Like, and warning for people who watch the show, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but
it's bullshit.
You're in for a fucking boring ass ride if they're gonna follow the comic book,
which they don't exactly. So,
do you think they're gonna do? Does he even know about?
No,
he doesn't.
I'm right before the big thing, and I have no idea what it is.
No, he doesn't know about that. Which, after All Out War, Anyways,
I'm 2 issues.
So just read 3 issues right now. Come back and join us, and then I can.
I'm 2 issues away from finishing All Out War.
Yeah, what a place to stop. Anyways, did you read Green Valley, Bill?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, you would really like it.
It's a single issue comic. Well, it's not. It's an ongoing comic, but there's one issue out.
It's only going to be like 8 issues, but yes, the first issue is out, and it's done by Max Landis, the guy who wrote American Alien, Chronicle.
He wrote what?
He wrote American Alien, which is a Superman
miniseries.
Comic book miniseries, and then he wrote and directed
the movie. No, he didn't direct Chronicle because the director of Chronicle did Fantastic Four, and now he's.
Yeah. So he wrote Chronicle, which was an awesome movie. I did read Green Valley. It was good. What made it was the humor. It was very, very funny.
Yeah.
Other than that,
I'm intrigued. I'm excited for it.
It's the first issue. Exactly. Yeah. You gotta watch with more.
So are you gonna say you're watching Dirk Gently?
Yes.
I have not watched it yet, but I hear it's awesome.
So good. Dirk Gently's holistic detective agency. It's really funny. Elijah Wood, who I really like Elijah Wood in comedies, who did Wilfred. Mm-hmm. Wilfred was so good. It was so funny. And with this, it's on BBC. It's got very Billy, you would love this. It's
the British show, right?
Very British humor. I mean, you and I love British humor. We liked Spaced, which is one of the best shows, comedy shows I've ever seen. Yeah, it's awesome so far. So basically, it's very humorous, and it reminds me a lot of like the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes a little bit. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I just listened to a Nerdist interview with Elijah Wood and the other main actor. I forget his name. Mm-hmm. But I've heard a lot of really good things about it. So I was excited to check that out. Yeah. But since we've strayed into TV, without spoiling for Bill, unless he doesn't care,
I don't care. In fact, I YouTubed it and read it,
okay.
because I was curious as to what they were going to do.
I hate people like you. I hate you.
Why?
I hate you.
Because I don't like the fucking
You're
show.
never going to catch up.
Garbage?
It is garbage, but I mean,
you just said that it's garbage. Why the fuck am I going to waste my time watching it?
This is.
So this is us talking about Walking Dead, and we don't actually have to get into spoilers. We could just say what you thought of it.
I mean, if Bill doesn't care and he knows, I mean,
I do know.
We're making an announcement that we're probably going to mention a couple names here. So if this is coming out in 2 weeks, and honestly,
odds are if you care,
if you were trying to avoid
it, could be people catching up though.
If you're trying to
spoilers,
avoid it, but here's the thing. If you're trying to avoid it, I would be shocked if it wasn't ruined for you.
True.
I mean, it was all over Facebook like the second it happened. You know what I mean? People shouting out the name.
Yeah.
So, okay. Me and Ryan are, I actually think that we are the definition of insane. Insanity is, Smallville. We watched 10 seasons of Smallville, and we thought it was okay, but we continued to watch it because we got that far into it.
It got so bad too.
It got really bad, but we continued the entire.
But I don't do that anymore.
Seasons.
I gave up on a lot of shows.
I feel like I am still doing that with Walking Dead.
I haven't finished Dexter for that reason.
Yeah, Dexter.
You didn't finish Dexter?
No,
it got bad.
I don't know why, but as soon as I reached a certain age, I stopped giving a shit about things that I didn't care about.
Flash and Arrow. I stopped watching them.
I stopped watching Flash too. Oh,
I know. Doesn't that hurt a little?
I've been saying it. I said it since the beginning.
Flash was so good.
It was so fucking good, and I hate TJ, which is why I didn't want to admit it.
But there's other shows right now that I love, and we're
Last
gonna
Man on Earth.
We're gonna get into those. Not so much. It's okay.
What
it's
the
okay.
fuck?
I still watch every episode.
Well, let's not. Like we're going through one TV show to the next TV show. So Walking Dead, we continue. I feel like am kind of like on the Smallville train there. That it's like I don't know why I'm still watching it, but I'm this far in. I read the comics, so I continue to watch it, and I don't really like it other than the first episode. With that being said, the season premiere episode was, other than the first episode that I could say that I thought was a very, very good episode and kind of got me excited a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. I loved it. And I know a lot of people are bitching and complaining about it, but I thought it was genius what they did.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I actually agree. I think that it was... it felt a little long. I'm absolutely 100% happy with who died and how it happened, because we talked about it with several people and several different ways it could happen, but none of us talked about that it could be that. None of us talked about it that it could go that way, and I think that is
what made it was the fact that all summer people were like, are they going to follow the comic or are they not going to follow the comic?
Do you think that it was always the first person, and then they were like, you know what, we got to please the fans?
When they killed off the first person, I'm like, that character was just big enough in the show to make you believe that's it. And I'm like, okay,
and when it happened,
I expected that to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he turned around and started hitting the other person in the head. I'm like, oh shit, that was smart, because that's
really
something
smart.
I didn't see coming.
Right, and that's because I watched it on YouTube because I was curious as to what they were going to do, and I thought that was really smart misdirection.
Yes, it was.
Like, that was very
Bravo
good.
to them.
And that's
they actually
Kirkman.
did it.
I bet you $1 million Kirkman was like, you know what we should fucking do? We should do this. And then be like, holy shit, and then fucking actually do this.
I don't think we'll ever find out, but I would love to know whether or not that was the plan from the beginning, because I doubt it.
Yeah, I think that they were gauging the fans and seeing what people were going to say.
And so they had to do something creative, and this was...
They had that luxury to do that, you know what I mean? To set it up and be like, let's just sit back and listen.
I still don't think it was worth it. I still don't think that was... I think that was a bad season finale.
It was so bad.
Shouldn't have done that. But I'm happy with this. I think that, like I was saying before, though, I feel like it was a little drawn out. Him driving away with Rick and everything like that felt a little odd and out of place, and it felt like they were trying to stretch it out to be one episode, so they didn't need to pull it away. Yeah. So it felt a little weird. The axe being brought up several times, that misdirection was cool, because I'm like, no way is this going to happen too.
He lost his arm in the comic, so maybe they're going to do it to Carl.
And he kept slamming the axe down on the table and making you jump a little and go, oh shit, he's going to do it. And then the whole Carl thing, like, oh. So
that's why that right there is why I do not watch the show. Because they do things like that on purpose to make the fans of the comic excited about, oh my, are they finally going to mutilate this main character?
When they've done it in the past, it's been garbage. The way it was done in this episode was good.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, Bill. It's okay. I'm okay with them going off of the comics a little bit and kind of, making a point to reference the comics if it's good. If they do stuff like The Governor and go, oh, well, maybe Andrea's going to be his lover. And it's like, no, but that's bad. But if they do stuff like this was actually done really good. And they've already said they're not going to cut off his hand in the show. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. So this was like, and then it was like, oh, maybe that. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Why? Why aren't they going to do it?
Oh, they said budget reasons. They said because it becomes an issue with the
reasons?
character.
This fucking show.
I know. And then we've seen other shows in which they do it. What was it? Oh, but Game of Thrones. But still, he has a metal hand, so they kind of get around it there.
Metal hand. Oh,
Jamie.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, remember that was supposed to happen the same season as it was supposed to happen in Walking Dead?
And then we were like, they could do it in fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, here's why I mostly don't like The Walking Dead. First of all, how was Negan? How was Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
The reason why I wasn't gonna like Negan on screen on an AMC show is the fact
swearing.
that what fucking makes fucking Negan is the fact that every other word is the F word or like a swear word.
Mike Barrett's yelling
Obviously,
at
they couldn't do
his
that.
radio. Wow, his car radio or whatever, his phone right now because you can listen to an unedited version of that. I didn't know that. So the DVDs on YouTube and stuff like that, you can watch the uncensored version.
It's just like Breaking Bad.
And it is like that. I didn't know.
Yeah,
but it's not bleeped out. Wasn't Breaking Bad bleeped?
No. Yeah, on TV, but
but that's what I mean. I think they had to film separate scenes where he's swearing and then make that the DVD version.
Right.
No, the Breaking Bad though, they had the first couple of episodes out and they didn't know who was going to pick it up. They were hoping for like an HBO to pick it up. That's why there was swearing.
So
and then they stopped that when they got picked up by AMC, and then they stopped doing.
They still said fuck one time each season.
Really?
In Breaking Bad, and they bleeped.
I'd almost wish they'd bleep out Negan.
Remember when Skylar was like, I fucked. What's his name?
Yeah.
I don't know what his name. But
yeah,
the thing
manager.
about Negan is his vocabulary, his wide array, but it's also his demeanor and his ability to like have a nonchalant kind of way about how he does things, but still be like a force to be reckoned with. Now, did he do that?
I feel like he's almost there. I don't think it's quite enough.
I thought he was there. I think the one thing that I hate, another of the many things that I don't like about the show is I think the acting is just terrible. I think Rick is Andrew Lincoln. I don't like him at all.
We thought that from season 1.
I don't like him at all. I think most of the actors, I don't think it's very good. But Negan, I think now is like the best actor on the show, and I've only seen one episode with him in it, or two. I think he was
cool.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
Have either of you been watching Westworld?
No.
I don't have HBO.
I still haven't caught up on it. I've only watched the first half of the first episode.
That is an incredible show, and I think you would like it a lot.
Is it Jurassic Park with cowboys?
It is Jurassic Park meets Red Dead Redemption. Like, not Jurassic Park meets a Western. It's Jurassic Park meets Red Dead Redemption because it's very video game, and it's awesome, and you would really like it.
I've heard amazing things about it.
Yeah, I feel like you need to come over and watch it or something because I'm really enjoying it. What else? What other shows have you guys been watching? Anything? Me and Katie have been watching This Is Us. It was pretty good. I'm enjoying that.
That's like another, what's a show? Excuse me, Parenthood. Liz watched Parenthood.
Katie watched that too.
Is it Parenthood?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. That had the dad from Incredibles in it.
Yeah.
That show, the tones of them feel very... Similar,
yeah.
like super similar.
The writing in This Is Us is awesome. It's really good. It doesn't feel like a Seventh Heaven, or a Modern Family.
No,
but it doesn't even feel like a Modern Family or like I don't even know if it feels like Parenthood because I watched some Parenthood, but it's very like they do a really good job with misdirection. It's not what you think a lot of the time, and they do a really they they don't take the easy way out in a lot of the decisions they do, and I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. But any movies lately? You guys seen any movies? I have not been to the theater in forever.
Oh, yes, I have.
What did you say?
The one that Ottley suggested us to watch.
Because you have to do everything that Ottley
because
says.
you do what he says to do.
Exactly.
Ryan, if you're listening, I suggest something ridiculous and for TJ.
I'll do it.
Oh God.
I'll do it.
unless it's like, you know, something that involves me in a way that
Involves you.
that I wouldn't
Okay.
agree to. Go on, TJ.
We asked him if he had seen any movies recently that he liked, and he said "Don't Breathe" he thought was awesome. So I saw that.
Is it on? It's on Vumu.
It is now. I didn't see it on Vumu, but I saw it on. I actually paid money and saw it legally. You know, as that goes. It was very good. Very, very, very good. And you know, a lot of people say the one thing that I hear about that movie before I saw it was everyone's like, oh, you know, everybody says that it's not a horror, or it's being advertised as a horror movie, but it's not a horror movie, it's a thriller. Yeah, but it was kind of a horror movie. Like, it was fucking scary at times. It was awesome. It's all, mostly takes place completely in the dark. Obviously, it's about these kids who break into this guy's house. He's blind, and they try to steal, you know, they find out that he's got like $1 million somewhere in his house. And they break in, and then the guy who is blind ends up being fucking crazy and like locks them all in his house, and it's about him like trying to find them. But I mean, again, he's blind. That's kind of the gist of the movie. But it's very, very scary movie. Really, really well written.
Well Whitman. Yeah, it was well Whitman.
Walt Whitman.
So it was very Walt Whitman. So without giving away too much, and I feel like this is a smart movie when a movie does this. Who's the villain? Because these kids are the burglars that broke into this guy's house, so I feel like you're almost rooting for him to be like, fuck these kids.
But then it turns around and he's crazy.
No, he's 100% the villain.
Okay.
His voice, like how he acts, reminds me so much of Freddy Krueger. That's the kind of the feel of the movie too.
So I saw Lights Out recently.
Oh yeah, so did I.
Yeah, with Liz, and once it started, within the first 5 minutes in the mannequin factory or the factory, Liz and I were watching it at 10 o'clock at night, and we were like, maybe we shouldn't watch this before we go to bed. And we fucking watched it, and that fucking movie was very good. It was very terrifying. I thought
the scary parts were, it was
very
terrifying.
scary.
The movie
very
in
scary.
itself, like the story was a little weird.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that,
okay.
but from like a horror movie standpoint, it scared
When
us.
she woke up in the middle of the night and looked up, and there was just a figure not moving.
Scratching the floor?
No, that. But
Yes.
no, just the figure just standing there, not moving. And then she turns the light off, and then the figure's not there.
Ryan is shaking
and then she
his head.
turns the light on, and the figure's there again.
Yeah.
She turns the light off, and the figure's like gone. It's like right in front of her.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
That kind of shit is what makes the movie scary. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like the story and
No,
all
the
that
story
stuff.
was
But
bad.
yeah, it was like it was in her head, and the mom.
Yeah, it was
spoiler.
fucked up, though.
The spoiler. I'm about to spoil. Shoots herself in the head. And I didn't really like get it.
That's what I didn't. Yeah.
But it was like cool things like the cops that were in the house. Like every time they would shoot at the thing, because of the muzzle flash, like it would disappear, but then it would be closer because it couldn't like be in the light, but it could be in the dark. It was scary. It was very scary.
Me and Jess saw that movie.
You and Jess?
Went to Regal, yeah.
Cool. All right, so TJ, you have to get to work soon. So
Yep.
we're going to start wrapping this up. I'm going to bring it back to Invincible a little bit as we wrap up. First things first, soon, maybe, next episode should be our New Reader Volume 6, in which in which Brittany and Liz will have read Conquest. So that's really exciting. Bill, can you give any kind of tease of what Liz thought of the Conquest fight without giving too much? Because you know she read up to that point.
So it started with the Invincible War.
Yep.
Which was nuts. And then like it got into like some of the repairing stuff, and all of a sudden Conquest comes out of nowhere. And I think I was sitting next to Liz the entire time, and the thing that sucks is that it only took her like I'm not exaggerating, like 5 minutes to get through the whole Conquest arc.
She went way too fast.
No, dude, but that's how long it takes, because it's just a big long action sequence. Like if you think about
it's really only like the
I
action
know.
sequence part of that is only maybe
I know,
2
it's hard.
comments.
It's hard to
maybe
stop.
it was longer. It was like 10 minutes, maybe.
I know.
But it's still like that was like 5 months for us, dude.
I know.
And it was like that. So when she was done with it, she like when Eve got the thing to the thing, and like she had all the right reactions. Like it was perfect, and I'm excited for her to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it was exciting for me to like finally, because that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Conquest is like what you want people to read when they're reading Invincible, and I got to watch her.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm excited. We'll be talking to them about that and going over hardcover volume 6 on the next episode. I got something in the mail. Have you guys seen these things yet?
Yes.
The Invincible mini-mates.
Wasn't it you that showed them to me? Or you just got these recently?
I just got these yesterday in the mail.
Oh, you know where I've seen these? On the Invincifans site.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're actually...
First of all, what's a mini-mate? It looks like a Lego.
It's kind of like they're just guys. They're not like a Lego set where there's actually blocks and everything. They're just people. But these were actually featured in an episode of Walking Dead. They're on, at one point, Carl goes into a kid's room.
Yep, on the table.
Yeah.
So when were these released then?
I think a while ago.
Really?
Yeah. So they're kind of neat. Now, as we're sitting here playing with these, Halloween is going to be a couple days after this episode goes live, even. Yeah, and as we record it.
Yeah, we record it. Yeah.
These were released in 2013, Bill.
Wow.
So,
oh, shit.
Did you just rip Alan in half?
I ripped him right in half.
So, there's a mini-mate of Nolan, Mark, Alan, and Eve. And but anyways, like I said, Halloween is coming up. If you could think, say all the Invincible characters got together, they're all friends, everybody's good, villains, heroes, people who are dead, everybody's back, everybody's happy, and they're all going to a Halloween party. What would some of them dress up as?
That's a really tough question.
Like, what do you see Alan dressing up as for Halloween?
I don't know. The only thing that I can think of Alan that he enjoys is those worm things that he eats.
The,
what are they called?
Zerlax? Oh, crap. I forgot what they're called. Yeah. I picture Alan being kind of like a Frankenstein. I could see him going as Frankenstein.
Yeah, I can see him going as a Frankenstein. These are really cool.
I think Rexplode would have to be Spider-Man.
Probably.
Just because the way he always shoots is the Spider-Man kind of pose. I don't know. I was just thinking about that earlier, and I was like, I wonder.
Anybody who's dressing up as an Invincible character, email that to us.
There's a guy.
With pictures.
There's a guy on Instagram who made a costume over the summer, and it's awesome.
I've yet to see an amazing Invincible costume.
This one's pretty good.
I saw there was one that Ottley posted at Fan Expo.
Yeah,
and I'm actually in the background in a line, and I'm just like, I completely photobombed it. But it was Invincible, Omni-Man, and
you're in that
Kid
picture?
Omni-Man. Yeah,
you're in that picture? Are you really?
Yep.
That's a good one.
So I think that does it for us, guys. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can write to us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter. What else am I thinking of?
iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher.
Oh, yeah. You can find us on there. Leave us a review on the App Store. Not on the App Store. Leave us a review on iTunes on the podcast, and let us know what you think. Write in. Give us suggestions. Remember, we've got the new reader coming up soon. We've got Astounding Wolfman coming up soon.
Astonishing Wolfman.
Is it astonishing or astounding?
Is it astounding? It might be astounding. We're bad.
It's astounding.
We're not even fans.
It's astounding.
Oh my god.
And happy Halloween, everybody, and we will see you around. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.